So here I'm gonna start wetting my client's hair, trying to organize the haircut to the way we're about to cut it. The way I was always taught to vision my haircut before I start doing it. So I started clipping the sides because he wants the sides real heavy, and I'm just gonna organize the top and start cutting it. So here I use a little trick with the scissors just to hold it while I'm combing the hair down so I get that line real straight so I can begin my sectioning. Here I'll just take the lines vertically up and start cutting it to set in my first guideline to start layering the top. So I'll begin to texturize the hair a little bit just to give it that nice finished look when we start styling it, so it's not just a very blunt line across the head. So here I'm grabbing each strand, texturizing the hair, cutting it at a diagonal direction just to change the lengths of each hair. Here I'm still texturizing, but I'm doing a splicing action, so this will give the hair different lengths throughout the comb-over side of the haircut. So I'll start by debulking the haircut with the 3 3/4 blade so that I know that this is going to be the highest point of the haircut that we will be blending towards. So here I'm using the 2-blade guard just to set in my first guideline. I do this after I finish debulking the haircut. Then I'll come in with my 1A blade to set in my second guideline so that I can see the difference between the 2 and the 1 guard when we start fading that section of the hair. Then underneath the 1 blade, I will come in with my outliner blade. You can use your trimmers too, it'll be the same thing, but this will be my third guideline so that I can see where I'm going from the bald section to the 1 section. I will then use my foil shaver just to take out any stubble that's left over from the outliner blade. This will give it a nice clean finish. Then I'll come in with my magic clip close just to take out the bald line. Then I'll fade the rest of the bald transition with the Auster fast feed because the Auster opens up just a little bit longer, so I can fade a little bit further into the one guard. Right here I start fading the transition between the one line to the two line, so I start with my one guard open and then start closing it a little bit down. Then I will switch to my half guard and start using the trigger play action just to take out the one line, so we have a smooth transition from the bald to the two. Now we'll begin on the other side of the haircut with the same system. I'll start the same way with the wall magic clip closed, blending that zero line into the one guard, and when the wall magic clip cannot reach any further, I'll come in with the Auster fast feed since the blade is a little bit longer, and then I'll do the same thing to take out the one line between the one and the two, and I'll fade it out using my one plastic guard and my zero plastic guard with the Auster fast feed using trigger play action. I will never fade above the two with the one guard or the zero guard. That'll just make your transition very sloppy. You'll probably have to redo the whole haircut. So that's the reason for my guidelines in the haircuts. So now we're at the back section of the head. We're still going to use the same system that I've been educating you guys throughout the whole video, except I will start on the left side of the middle and blend that to the left side of the haircut and make sure it goes thoroughly through the middle, and then I'll do the right side of the middle and make sure it blends to the right side of the haircut, and that way we have a smooth transition all throughout the haircut. And I also do spend the most time on the back of the head because that just seems to be the most dense area on 90% of your clients, so we do take a little bit longer here. So now to debulk the rest of the long hairs on the side of the parietal ridge, I'll use the clipper over comb technique just to blend in the two guard to the long hairs. Then when I'm done with the clipper over comb, I'll go right underneath it with the two guard just to blend it in smoothly. And then I'll use my Auster fast feed just to get the transition so I have a lever to use for trigger play action. Then just to redefine the hairs, I will use the scissor over comb technique just to finish off the blend. Here I'll be getting the extra long hairs after the transition using some shear work and just really over directing the hair so that when it begins to style it, it'll just fall on top of each other very smoothly. Here I'm just doing some extra detail work before I head into the finished part of the haircut, before I start styling and outlining the edges. So just gonna make sure everything just goes very smoothly through the blends. Here I'm just gonna do the edge up work with my wall detailers. I feel like I could get the nice curves with a little blade. It's much easier. How I usually do my comb over lines is I cut away from the long hairs first, just to define the line, and then I go back in towards the long hairs. That way you don't trim all the long hairs off. And now I will begin styling my client's hair using some high heat and some high speed right now with a vent brush. That way all the air goes through the hair and the brush, so it cools down a lot faster and dries a lot faster. I'm just combing it in the direction I want the hair to lay, so that when I put the product in, we can finish and give it a nice texturized look. So after I'm done applying the product throughout the hair, I'm just going to use some hairspray and a thick comb just to get those beach waves going, man. The thick comb really defines the lines when you're trying to style it. And this is the final look. Please smash that like and subscribe button and follow me on Instagram at @MarkByLimos. Stay tuned next week.